Now, I think the best of Australian soldiers always have, always will. But I think we should take a couple of minutes to talk about what is about to happen, which is a major inquiry into potential war crimes. Senator Jim Molan is a man who served this country oh so well, and he joins us right now. But we learned today that Australian soldiers that served in Afghanistan have been sent war crimes notices. In recent days, the number of soldiers that have received these notices from the Australian Defence Force say that he intends to make adverse findings against them and gives them a period in which to justify and explain their actions. Those adverse findings include breaches of the law of armed conflict and other misconduct allegations. As I say, Jim Molan is here, a man who's proudly served his country and now does so inside the federal parliament. Jim, I think nothing but the best of our Defence Force. You do too, but how is it even possible that people could be accused of this, let alone adverse findings and a process going through here?
Well, it's certainly been a very, very long process, Paul, and the process now has finally reached a stage where the Inspector General of the ADF, Paul Brereton, looks like being able to be in a position to make a recommendation. He doesn't hear their charges. He makes a recommendation to the CDF, the Chief of the Defence Force, for further action to be taken. But I think what worries most people is that, and I think this is what you're getting at, how can anyone who hasn't experienced a battlefield judge anyone about what happens on a battlefield?
Yes.
And it would certainly appear from the Inspector General of the ADF's annual report that he too agrees with that, because none of these 52 incidents which are being investigated are related to battlefield activities. And every day that I was in Iraq, I was held accountable and assessed for the actions that I took in relation to the laws of armed conflict. And I was one step back from the battlefield, but still made life and death decisions. I think the lesson that the ADF has learned, and the Inspector General of the ADF has learned from previous instances where we tried to judge some commandos who threw grenades through a window, I think the lesson they've learned is that they are looking only at what would appear to be unlawful taking of life or torture. So I'm comforted that this is the right process. I believe that we must hold ourselves, and I held myself accountable for every single decision that I took. So I think that, and this is so very, very important. And the last thing I'd say, Paul, is that to our credit in the Australian Defence Force, it was we who started this process. It was soldiers who were concerned about what they saw at a particular time in the life of the Special Forces.
Good point.
They brought it to the attention of a particular general who took action immediately. Now, it's very sad that we've got to do it, but for the integrity of what we do, because we do not want to put ourselves in the same class as those that we fight, that we believe in the rule of law, and you can win battles by observing the laws of armed conflict. I'm very glad that we're going through this process.